Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the J Lounge. Of course, you guys know I am your hostess with the mostest, Miss J, aka Miss Simone Jackson, here to bring you guys another wonderful episode of the J Lounge. Of course, you guys know the J Lounge is a celebrity-based podcast show where we talk with actors, directors, comedians, singers. They all come down here and they all have a wonderful time. Of course, I am super excited to be introducing my next guest. He is a comedian here to talk about his style and who he is. I am very excited, and I want everyone to give a super warm welcome to the one and only E. I'm sorry, Albert Smith, or is it E.L.
Elsa.
Smith? Yes, E.L.
It's
Smith. Yes.
all
Hi, how are you doing?
right, pretty good, pretty good.
I appreciate you for joining me here today. I'm very excited to be speaking with you. I'm gonna go ahead and get the ball rolling and fire the first question at you. What began your passion for comedy?
Ah man, what began my passion? Comedy origin story, like a superhero.
Your
How did he
Batman
be
story. What's your Batman story?
yeah, how did he become a superhero? I guess so I don't have a problem like being in front of people. That never been a problem. I am an introvert, but I never had a problem being in front of people. I guess because I have a crazy story when I was a little kid. I think it was in kindergarten, first grade. I got into like a little altercation. This boy pushed me and I like scratched him. This first grade. But they called my house and my grandmother picked up the phone and I got home, she didn't say anything. But she took me to school the next day and she literally when she walked me into the classroom, she literally like spanked me in front of the whole class. Yes, in front of the whole class. And, back then when you can do that. So it's like, yeah, so yeah, I saw some kids crying. I saw some kids laughing, of course. I saw a little boy in the back rubbing his nipples. I like, all right, I guess he's into that.
That last one, I have a lot
I
of
guess that's
questions
what
on. Go on.
I guess that's what he likes. I'm glad I can help him live his truth. Like he can get it.
A full image and I'm just dying over here. Go on.
So I after that, like honestly, I just wasn't like all the fear of being like, like stage frights, like the first fear of people, all that just went out the door after that. So I always been like funny in my family with my cousins and just hanging out. But when I got out of high school, it
Mhm.
was this it was this girl. All these stories always start with a girl. So it's this
Always.
girl.
Always.
It was a girl. She was a little bit older than me. She went to my same high school, but we're out of high school and she was going to the same college I was going to. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna ask this girl, what can I do that's something different besides, the movies and dinner and all that stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to a comedy show. I'm gonna buy a ticket to a comedy show. That's just the first thing that popped in my head. Bought 2 tickets to see D.L. Hughley. Um, went to ask her, and she was like, nah. She was like, no, I'm all right. And then so I ended up taking this other girl that was a friend of mine, and we went and we sat in the front row. And I didn't know that some comedy clubs shows you shouldn't sit in the front row because the comedian makes fun of you, and it's
Hmm.
D.L. Hughley. And I didn't know, but D.L. Hughley like makes fun of like everybody in the front row. So he literally went from left to right and just ripped everybody up. And I was like, I just had to sit there and take it. But after that, I said, you know what? That was a great time. That was a great hour
Hmm.
and a half for that moment. And I was like, you know what? I can do that. And I want to do that. So when I left that one college, I went to another college in Tallahassee and just started hitting the ground, doing some open mics and
Yeah.
things like that. And just started getting better and better. And there was a comedy club up there, luckily, and they stopped bringing in MCs or people to host the show. So,
Yeah.
the out of towners were people like the feature and the headliner. So the comedy club approached me and this other guy. And it was like, because we were always asking them like for little guest sets, like little 5-minute spots. And they approached us and like, do you guys want to host here? We'll pay you. I think it was like $80. And then you can get the host every other week. So me and this guy just swap every other weekend, paid audience coming to see a show. So it's not like a bunch of open mic comedians coming to, do their stuff. It's like a paid audience every other week.
Yeah.
And I did that like for 2 years. So yeah, I got pretty
Oh,
got pretty good
that's
in it. Yeah, and this was while I was in college. So graduated, started traveling with it a little bit, doing some weekend shows here and there. And honestly, it was cool, but then I would see like the person performing before me or the week before, and it was like some dude who was like 50 years older than me doing the same thing I
Yeah.
was doing for the same amount of money. I'm like, I don't know if I can do because this is in Florida. So I was like, I don't know if I can keep doing this like this. I don't want to be keep playing the Ramada Inn at 88. Like I don't want to do
Hey,
that.
no, I got
So
you. That's a good, yeah, that's a good way to start though.
I literally packed up and like moved to California and just started hitting the ground there. And that was really a good thing because in all the years I've been doing comedy in Florida, like as soon as I started doing it in California, things just started to happen. Like I got like a commercial agent.
Yeah.
I started doing cruise ships and yeah, just started doing bigger and better things. And so that's how it started.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. I love the, of course, yeah, I cannot believe you did not know the rule. At the comedy club, you do not, repeat, do not sit in the front row. Have you not watched Kings of Comedy? Did
You
you not
know,
see the set with Steve Harvey? I mean, come on.
that is true. That is true. But you know,
That
it
is
taught me
true.
something. It taught me like and so when I came up in comedy, because we were the host, they really pressed on us to be clean because the headliner was the one that get to be the dirty one or do the crowd work. So I really got into the habit of like, if I do talk about talk to people in the audience, I don't really like, I don't dig in on them or anything like that. I make it very broad, or I just, yeah, I really don't. Because you can sit in the, if you were at a comedy show that I was on, you can sit in the front row. I wouldn't do anything like that. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I know how it feels. Some people like that, but I don't like that. I'm like, this person paid like $20, $30. They didn't pay $30 to come in here and get talked about, like put down.
Right. No, that
So
is true. That is true.
so yeah.
Going on to the next question, name three people who influenced your career.
And three people who influenced my career. I would say number one probably is Dave Chappelle. Because when I first started doing comedy, that guy was just the funniest person I was seeing on TV by far, like light years. Like, dang, that was funny. Like every time he did something that was really funny, I was like, dang, that was really funny. And so when I first started comedy, it was Dave Chappelle. I mean, I still like him to this day. But when I got further into comedy and just started like going back in time and just looking at the whole gambit of it and stuff like that, I would say I like a couple of old school people too. I like Mom's Mabel. I don't know if you know who that is, but she was like an old school she was a black lady back like in I want to say the 60s, 70s maybe. She had this character playing like an old black lady. Um but she would play, you know, stand out, sold out crowds and stuff like that. And she was a black woman doing it back then. So that was pretty cool to see how she was able to like push a path for herself and get to a high plateau. Like
Hmm.
she was like the only one. So and of course this stuff was funny. So I really looked up to that. I like Robin Harris. That's another comedian. He was the dad in House Party, the first House
Oh, got
Party.
it. Got it.
Yeah, I like him because he reminds me of so many older black men. Like that's them. Like that's that whole cadence and how they act and yeah, baby kids. Like that's so he was just funny in that aspect. So I say those. I like those three people. As far as joke writing, I mean, I like Dave Attell. I like Bill Burr. I like Kathleen Madigan. I like some people. I like smart comedy.
Me
So
too. So I
that's what
got
I'm
you. Yeah.
into. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like smart comedy. Like really like dumbed down comedy, a comedy that topics that everybody's saying the same thing about the same way. Like like urban comedy, I like it, but some of it sometimes is like, man, come on, man. This who got bad credit? I got bad credit. Yeah. Nah, I'm like, all right.
Right. No, I got you. I totally understand and I totally agree.
So
Which it's interesting that you say that because it brings me to my next question. Describe
mhm.
your comedy style.
All right. So my comedy style is I am basically I'm like PG-14. I mean, I can make it PG. I really don't try to tell dark blue humor because like I say, I kind of came up with having to be clean. So it just kind of like it's like you know how it is when you're like you're a baby and you grow into something that's just how you do it.
Yeah,
So I'm just
absolutely.
I'm just used to just mostly being on the cleaner side. I mean, but in the same breath, though, I'm not a church comedian or anything like that. It's not. I'm not that clean, but I just kind of try to keep it like, something you can see on, regular TV. And I try to focus on either topics that no one's talking about or like really smart comedy, like where you don't see the punchline coming. And then I also try to tap in more about me and like who I am and what I like and what I think is crazy or, my mind frame and how I think about things and how I
Yeah,
view the world.
absolutely. And I love that because I'm the same way. I completely agree, especially what you said earlier about smart comedy. That's
Yeah.
my thing too. I like smart comedy. I don't like the as you just said it earlier, like bad credit or if you're stuff like that. So I get exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. I it's less like watching like comedy shows like My Wife and Kids or The
Mhm.
Cosby's. It was there was humor, but there was intelligence mixed into it. So
Yeah, and that's what I like. I just like because that other stuff is sometimes that stuff is just too easy, and I don't know if I like it like
it
that. I don't
is.
like it like that. So
It's not really something that it's gonna get people thinking. Comedy can also make people think, and like I said, stuff like that is just a little bit too easy, a little bit
yeah,
too on the nose, if you will.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, going on to the next question, name three comedians who influenced your career.
Three influence my career. I would say Dave Chappelle, because I like his humor. I just like how it was really. I would say it was smart. It was definitely different. And that's why he got as big as he did. Um, and I would say also Patrice O'Neal, was another guy that I really like because he had more like a conversational comedy style. Like it wasn't really he was telling jokes. He was really just being himself. And sometimes himself was just like a really toxic, crazy dude. But it was like, dang, I see what he's saying. And then he'll turn it back around and make you see the point, and you'd be like, oh, okay, I saw his point. But he was pretty good. I like Patrice O'Neal. He really stayed like authentic to who he was, and I really like that. And then I will say the last person I'm gonna have to go with myself. I'm my biggest fan, and I'm always gonna be my biggest fan
There's
because
nothing wrong with that. Honestly, I love that answer more than any other answer. There's nothing
yeah,
wrong with being your biggest fan. I mean, if you're
yeah.
not going to be your biggest fan, who is?
Nah, and I feel that you have to. Like, I honestly do. Like, I feel like I feel like this way. If Chris Rock was on a show, I feel like I could be on that same show, and I feel like I could do just as good or even better. It's like Chris Rock doesn't get excited when he see Jerry Seinfeld. You get what I'm saying? Or Kevin
Right.
Hart doesn't get excited when he see Dave Chappelle. I mean, I can't really get excited about people that I feel I'm on the same level with, and I'm always going to think that about myself. That's why I don't get people who say things like, "Oh, how does this person think he's better than Michael Jordan when they play?" And I'm like, well, that's how you're supposed to think. You're supposed to think highly of yourself. If you go in there thinking that somebody's better than you, even though they may be, but if you go in there with that mindset, you're never going to get to the level you need to get to.
Exactly. Exactly. That is so
Yeah,
true. So, like I said, I love that answer. There's nothing wrong with being your biggest fan. What you said is absolutely true. You got to have that confidence because
you do.
how you can expect to level up? Be the top person if you don't already have that attitude. Well, I'm already the top person. What I
Yeah.
bring is a quality. It's not. So yeah, I agree with you. I agree
Yeah.
with you. Going on to the next question. So I want to make sure my audience follows you and your work. Where are you on social media?
So if you just go to Google and you type in E.O. Smith comedy, like all of it'll pop up. So I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook and Instagram. Those are the main four ones that I'm on. Website, eosmithcomedy.com. It's an email list. Hop on the email list. So get enough people in one city, I can, reach out to that club about going out there and performing and stuff like that. But if you type in EO Smith Comedy, all of it come up. And if you could just follow me on all the major social platforms. Yeah,
And of course, I highly encourage my audience, make sure you follow E.L. Smith. We want to make sure we see more of him and see more of his comedy. Make sure you follow and give a shout out, give a like, give us some more the support, because we definitely want to see more of his comedy for sure.
appreciate it.
course. Going on to the next question. What future projects are you involved with that you can give just a little dish about to the J Lounge audience? Just a little dish.
Well, I'm performing next week at the Hollywood Improv on Melrose. I got a couple of auditions, couple of commercial auditions that I probably can't talk about, but I didn't get any word back yet, so who knows? But I got some commercial auditions in the works, and also going to be doing a sh college showcase soon as well to most likely play some colleges. But other than that, I'm just pounding away, man, feet on the pavement. So,
Love it. Love it. Well, definitely keep us here at the J Lounge posted on any of your new projects because we definitely want to make sure we're following and supporting. So make sure you keep us here posted.
okay, good deal.
Perfect. Perfect. Going on to the next question. What goals do you hope to accomplish in your comedy career?
What goals that I hope to accomplish in my comedy career? I want to say all of them, all of the goals,
Yes.
all of the goals.
Yes.
So, I mean, I want to, it was to be like really, really, really big and super big in comedy. But honestly, if I can get to a point where I can just make a full-time living doing this, but doing it on my terms, then that would be a win for me.
Yes.
I knew one comedian, this was his full-time job, but he had to travel like 200 and maybe 230 days out the year. That doesn't sound exciting to me at all, doing that.
No,
But
that sounds very tiring.
yeah, so if I can have a writing position somewhere or writing for a show and then also have a big enough name where people are like, oh, I saw him before. Oh, I know who that guy is. Like those old school Comic View comedians. Like they haven't been on TV in how many years, but because people saw them on Comic View X
Yep.
amount of years ago, they can still go to anywhere in this country. Say Bruce is coming to Denver, he's gonna sell it out. You know,
Yep.
everybody's gonna
Yep.
show up. Bruce hasn't been on TV. You get what I'm saying? So
Oh,
have a name,
100%.
have a name for yourself to the point where I could be like, oh, I want to go to Minnesota this weekend. You know, make a vacation out of it, and then just make a vacation out of it, go there and perform, sell out the place, and get to visit Minnesota. So, doing comedy has allowed me though to travel a lot of places. I've been to Alaska doing comedy, been to like numbers of different states that I probably would never have went to before. Um, so that's the goal, just to get big enough to a point where I could just live that great life. And then I also have a little bit of a higher goal too as well. Like I want to get to the point too where I can have like three different places. Like I really want a place like in California. I want a condo in New York. I know that sounds crazy, but the times that I've been to Manhattan, I never lived there. I just want the experience of living in New York and just being a part of that whole New York culture of that always go, 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 fast, fast,
The
fast,
hustle and
walking
bustle.
everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
subway.
Yep.
I just want to experience that. So I just want that. And then, like I said earlier, I am from Florida, so I always want to like go back to like South Florida because that's the beach. So everybody wants to go there. So
Yeah. I love your goals. I love your goals. They're definitely reachable. I definitely see that happening for you. Getting to be able to travel. It'd be really cool to
yeah.
see you here in Washington. I'm located here in Tacoma, so
Okay.
we got our own little thing going on out here. So yeah,
Okay. Okay. Maybe one. I
yeah,
mean, when I did the cruise ship to Alaska, they docked in Seattle. I could tell you that. So we were
yeah,
in
yeah.
Seattle for a couple of days.
Anything's
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
Anything is possible. I love that. Going on to the next question, what other passions do you have outside of comedy?
Mm. One of the passions. Oh man, I mean I go to the gym. I work out. I don't want to literally think that's a passion, but I just do that consistently. I do have like I like older cars. I would say that. So I like the old school muscle American cars, the cars that go for a lot of money because they're
Mhm.
old and vintage. And I actually have like an old school car that I'm trying to fix up and like bring back and stuff like that. So I'm almost in the process of like getting it, shipping it somewhere where it can get like painted and like redone in the inside. Because some of the stuff I can't do, but then some of it I can. But I have like a 1974 Dodge Start Sport. So,
Ooh,
so
okay.
yeah, I mean, I love that car, man. It's a good car. It's
I
cool.
love that Carmen.
I do, because they just don't make them like the car is heavy. And then back in that day, that car was considered compact, but it's not. It's not that small. And like I just like the style and how those cars look and how they sound. And then they also have like a history too. Like this car is older than me. So like I always like wonder like what was this car doing? Like where was this car? This car was brand new somewhere, some place.
Hmm.
And because I got it from North Carolina, and then I took it to Arizona, and I took it to California. So this car, at least from my knowledge, has been to three different states, you know. And I looked it up, and I saw that it was made in Detroit in 1974. So this car is like it has history. It has, you
Yeah.
know, has a whole life. So, but I just like it. I like the sound. I like the fact that when you can open the hood too of those older cars, you can see everything and you can grab everything. Like you can figure out how to change some things. Like in that car, believe it or not, I'm not even a mechanic, and I can change the fuel pump, I can change like the alternator, I can change the radiator because there was so much room you can actually put your hand and like get a pliers or like a socket wrench and just like unscrew the bolts and stuff like that. But these cars today, like they could pack all the components and bunch them up inside so you can't even work on the cars anymore. But that is a passion that I have. Um, that car, what else? Probably say other than that, probably hanging out with my daughter. I like hanging out. I have a 14-year-old daughter, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, I like hanging out with her because she's funny. She reminds me of me sometimes. She's very she likes to joke around. She really has some good comebacks that makes me laugh at 14. And I was like, that was pretty good. So I can't even get upset at her half the time. But she's always like she always puts a smile on my face and she's cool to hang around.
Oh,
Yeah. So
well,
those are
that's
my
just,
passions.
I love that. I love all of that. I'm also a, I don't want to say gym person, but I get it. Working out, that is also, I mean, it can be a passion because,
No, I can. I know.
yeah,
I see the
definitely can be a
people. I see the
passion.
people. I see the people in the gym. I can see.
Yeah,
I
no,
see,
no, me too. Like, I'm like,
yeah,
yep, I got up at 4 o'clock this morning and worked out. I'm like,
yeah,
how?
yeah.
How?
They got
Like,
like
I
the
have discipline. Like, don't get me wrong, I have discipline, but I just can't imagine like giving up my sleep to work out.
yeah. They're drinking like the water, the gallon of water out the jug,
Yeah,
and got the
yeah.
belts hanging from their arms, and like
I
the
make fun of
shirt.
my older brother because he has like a 30-pound jug of water that he
Yeah,
carries with him everywhere. I make fun of him. I was like, you know what? You don't even have to have a gun. You can just throw that at somebody and knock them out.
I know. Yeah. So I like the gym, but it's not a passion. I like
Right.
the because I want to I want to stay in shape and
Yeah,
keep
stay fit, stay healthy.
yeah
That's all. Yeah,
yeah
I got you. I'm right there with you. I am right
yeah
there with you. Going on
yeah.
to the next question. Any advice for any aspiring comedians who are hoping to be some, successful as you?
Honestly, just do your thing. Just do your thing. Go out to open mics and practice. You got to practice in front of people though. You can't do
Yes.
it like at home or in the mirror or anything like that. You gotta take every when you're first starting out, you gotta take every opportunity to be in front of people. And I would say my advice would be because I don't really want to give like advice because this is stuff how I would do stuff, but by looking back in the day, like when people gave me advice, looking back at it, some of the advice I probably shouldn't have took. But um, you have to be in front of a lot of people, different types of people, if you're really trying to be a success. Now, if you're just trying to be pigeonholed in just one way, then keep performing in front of the same type of people, and then you'll get into the habit of performing those same type of jokes. But you want to be able to like play any room and anywhere because I just be honest with you black people is only 13% of the American population. Like it's not that many. Like even if all of them like you, that's a good fan base. But you're trying to make money, right? You're trying to
Exactly.
be somewhere. So you got to be able to touch everybody. And being that you are a minority, like I think like minorities because we go through so much like adversity and pain. This is why you find like black comedians or Jewish comedians are usually the ones that are comedians because all that stuff that makes you cry, makes you have to
Right.
laugh at and stuff like that. You could tap into a whole group of people that are willing to come see you wherever you are, and then that is the goal. Just be funny in front of everybody and then be yourself. Don't try to like be like someone else or like put on like a show or like a stick. Like be who you are. Because one thing about audiences, they can see when you're not being authentic and you're just like going through the motions, or you're just creating something that's not true to you. Like, who are you? Like, don't have a joke about, oh man, I'm dating 30 women and you don't look like you can date one. You get what I'm saying? Just be
I totally get what you're saying. Yep,
just be
totally.
whoever you are. Just be whoever you are and who that person is. And then I will also say, be in the position to like win. Like when I was coming up in comedy, um, I would get times a lot of bookers or managers would say like stuff like, "Oh, don't move to New York or move to LA unless you're ready, because once people see you in that light, you'll always be in that light, no matter what." And that's true to a certain extent, but you're not gonna get anywhere if you're not in proximity to where things are happening.
Right,
I would say social media has changed that a little bit now, because now technically you can be anywhere, but if you pop off on social media, if you got a huge following on social media, you can basically build a career, which is true these
yeah,
days. But I would say cover all your bases. Be focused on the social media and also be in proximity to where things are happening. So that would be my advice. And just keep doing it. Keep practicing, keep being in front of people, because then it becomes like second nature. Like you see a lot of comedians on TV or on social media, and you look like they made that up out of the top of their head. They probably said that same spontaneous thing that looks spontaneous like 80 different times, because they ran in that scenario 80 different times, and it just looks like it's spontaneous, but they just constantly are doing it. Like you see these comedians that play these clubs all the time, they just look really good. Only reason they look that good is just because they just repeatedly are going places in front of audiences and just keep doing the same thing over and over again. It becomes like a muscle, and then you make it really strong. Because I've seen me coming up in comedy, I've seen people before that were not funny
yeah,
when I was coming up, and you turn around 2, 3, 6 months later, and you be like, "Dang, what happened? That dude is now, or that girl is like hilarious now."
yep,
And the simple
yep.
fact is that they just constantly were in it and doing it. So you don't have to be like the class clown or just be the funny one. I think you had to be the funny one to do it. I mean, just do it. And then also, comedy is subjective. What some people may find funny, some other people may not find funny. So just be true to yourself and just do that.
I completely agree, and I think that is fantastic advice.
Yeah.
Truly, truly do. That is really amazing advice. I hope my audience is listening in and takes that into consideration because
Yeah, you
that
got
is
to be
gold.
yourself. You
You
got to be
have to be
yourself.
yourself and be yourself's biggest fan because
Be
if
yourself.
you're not,
Yep.
yeah, if you don't, no one else will. So,
And I tell
oh,
people this. I tell people
yeah,
this all the time too. Like, because they always are like, "Oh man, what if I make a mistake? Or what if I do this? I need notes." I'm like, "No, don't just be you." Because even if you make a mistake and trip over your words or whatever, those people who are looking at you, they're never going to experience that again in life, because it's only one you on this whole planet. So whatever you do is something that they're never going to see again. Even if you mess up, it's something that they're never going to see again. So just be who you are and just be comfortable with that.
I completely agree. I completely agree.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing advice. And like I said, I really hope my audience, takes that in consideration, takes that into heart because that's really great advice. I have really enjoyed our conversation. You have been such a pleasure to speak with. You have such a clear direction of who you are as a comedian, where you want to go, how do you want to reach your goals. And like I said, I love the fact that you're your biggest fan. I think that's a great no, it's a great attitude to have. And it's
Nah, yeah,
especially in a competitive world of comedy where everybody wants to, you know, be that guy. It's
that's
nice to know
true.
that, you got that confidence. No, I am that guy. And here's my proof. Here's my work. I know I'm that guy. I know that I can, you know, stomp with the big dogs. I can go toe to toe with the best of them. So I love it.
Exactly.
I love it. I can't wait to see more of what you do. And yeah, I really appreciate you for speaking with me today.
No, no, thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And of course, I highly encourage my audience one more time. Make sure you follow E.L. Smith on all social media platforms. Make sure you give him a shout out, give him a follow, support him. We want to see more of his work. say hi. If you are near one of his comedy shows, go see it. Just support him any way you can because we just want to see more of him. So I definitely,
Awesome.
yes, I definitely want to thank everyone for listening in. Of course, you guys know I have been your hostess with the mostest, Miss J, aka Miss Simone Jackson. I will be back with another great episode of the G Lounge here soon. Of course, I want to thank my incredible guest one more time, E.L. Smith, and I want to thank everybody for listening in. Until then, y'all have a beautiful day, and I'll be back.
All right.
Bye.